Hello, welcome back to Journey of Crafting. Today I'm going to finish up this 2-pocket folder for the large Happy Planner. So in the previous video, part 1, I created this pocket for the Happy Planner, this pocket folder, and I had sealed up the top of it by accident, but now, as you can see, it is opened. I had created this whole thing. If you're interested on how I created this, the link will be down in the playlist description in the bottom description box. So moving on, I will in this video create the second pocket to create this double pocket folder. So you're going to take this cardstock here and you're going to measure out exactly where you want to put this on your folder. So what I'm going to do is I think I want to create a border with this mat here. So it will be this washi tape and then this border here and then this pocket folder or this pocket here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out exactly how wide this is. And it should be 7.5 inches. Okay. No, it's 8 inches wide. I'm a little confused, but so yeah, it's 8.5 by 11, and we cut off 1/2 inch. So I told you before in other videos, math and I don't really get along. So this is an 8-inch wide piece of paper here. So I'm thinking that we want to make this 7.5 inches. So it'll give a 1/4 inch border on each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this down to 8 inches. And that'll make sense here in just a minute. So we're going to set this aside for just a minute. We're going to grab our trimmer. We're going to measure out 8 inches. And we're going to trim this down to 8 inches. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to push this over 1/4 inch. And we're going to score that 1/4 inch mark. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over and we're going to push this over 1/4 inch. And we're going to score that 1/4 inch mark. Okay. Now we need to decide how large we want this pocket to be. How big of a surface do we want? So we already know that we want it to be across the bottom, but how large, like how tall do we want it to be? So this actually doesn't look terrible, but I am going to cut it down just a smidge. Let's see how long this is, or how tall this is rather. And this sheet of paper is about 6.5 inches tall. So if we brought it down to 5 inches, it would be right around here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to cut it down to 5 inches. So I'm going to mark this, or I'm going to pull this out to 5 inches here. And I'm going to take this off. And now, just like on the other two sides, I'm going to take this out 1/4 inch. And I am going to score that 1/4 inch mark. Okay, now we're done with the trimmer for now. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get the washi tape off of our scissors. And our fingers. Okay, now see this corner right here? See how it has this square? We're going to cut an angle into this square, that point there. Then you're going to cut another angle into this other point here. And it's not necessarily going to be a straight line, but it is going to be an angle that looks like that. Okay? You need to do the same thing on the other side. The reason that we're doing this is because this is a really, really, really thick piece of paper, and we want to cut down as much of that bulk as possible. So we have our corners cut out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our scored edges and we're going to fold them up. All of them. Okay? So it's going to look like this. Okay? Now, you do want, again, because this is such a thick paper, you do want to take your bone folder and you do want to push down to make sure that these stay down. Okay? So, just keep pushing them down, all three sides, and then you're going to put your double-sided tape on the flaps here. So I'm going to do the bottom first, as soon as I find my tape. I'm going to do the bottom first, and I do have a 1/4 inch tape, so it will fit perfectly. If you have smaller tape or larger tape, then just cut it down to size. You could lay it across and then like cut it off the side, like when you're trimming paper. Just make sure that you try to use like a non-stick scissor so it doesn't get like goopy on your scissors. I think Tim Holtz is really, really good for that. I actually have Tim Holtz scissors. And before anybody asks, no, this is not a sponsored video or affiliated or anything like that. I just really like their scissors, or his scissors. I used his scissors to cut through cling foam. And I don't know if anybody has ever dealt with cling foam, but that stuff is, it's a nightmare to cut through with like these scissors. Absolutely nightmare. And honestly, I gave up after the first sheet, even with the Tim Holtz scissors. I was like, nope, I'm using a hot gun. So I actually bought a hot gun just for that. But in all fairness, I had 20 sheets of stamps to cut out. So, and I'm still not done, honestly. So, but anyway, enough yabbering. So I have all of this completely taped up. Now I'm going to push this down. Okay. Now our basis for our pocket is complete. Now what we're going to do is we're going to double check the measurements, because it should be 7.5, and it is-ish. Not quite, but that's why my math is always bad, because I'm always like, ish. So this one is 4 3/4. So that one's right. It's the other one that's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut our decorative paper down to size. Remember that third sheet of paper that I mentioned in the first video? If you didn't watch the first video, then this is the third sheet of paper that I started the project with. This was 2 different sheets, and this was the third. So we're going to go down to, let's see, we have 4 3/4. So we're going to make it to be 4 1/4. So we're just going to pull it over. And I do want this to go in a specific direction, so I did that one first. I do want it to read like this, because if it was reading like this, it would look a little funny. So the second one is 7.5, so we're just going to make this into 7. Okay, and then we're done with the trimmer for this particular project, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. You can take any kind of double-sided tape or adhesive. If you're using decorative paper, I would not suggest using a wet glue. I would suggest using a dry adhesive of some sort. If you use a glue stick, just be wary of what kind of glue stick you use, because some glue sticks are very wet. Like my favorite glue stick it's actually like a Play School, like the brand Play School, but it's a really, really wet adhesive. So I have to be careful when I use it, and not to use it on delicate paper or thin paper. So anyway, just kind of center this up. just like this. We are not going to edge the borders of this one with any kind of washi. You can if you want to. I'm not going to because I did put a border on the pocket, the main pocket. Also too, if you wanted, you could create this entire pocket for the other side. So it could be a 3-pocket folder. So all we're going to do is we are now going to take the backing off of our tape here, and then we are going to lay it down, assuming the backing wants to come off. Okay, so, and if you line it up just perfectly, you can actually adhere the corners to themselves before you actually lay it down. I didn't do that though. So we're just going to center this-ish and lay it down flat, push it down, and there you have it. You have a second pocket on your pocket folder. Okay, now to finish this up, we are going to mark our holes, and we're going to mark the other side because it's a little flatter. But you can feel the difference between the single sheet of paper here and the folded sheet of paper here. There was a comment recently on hole punching. If you have a cheaper hole puncher that it takes a lot more effort to get through thicker things, don't push it. Don't mark the one with the thicker hole, the thicker paper, the folded area, because essentially this is going through 4 sheets of 110-pound cardstock, and honestly that's tough for any puncher except for the Crocodile. So yeah, and the Crocodile, it's a good punch, but the holes aren't big enough for the Happy Planner. Sorry, I was lining this up while I was like trying to talk to you guys. So we're just gonna mark this. A pen would probably do better because it is on washi, but I think with the indentions it'll be alright. I can see it okay, I hope. And so, like I said, we're just going to mark this, then we're going to cut it out, or we're going to punch it out. And I actually don't have, like, I do have a dollar store. I'm just emptying my hole punch right now. I do have a dollar store punch, but this particular one is not a dollar store punch, and I'm still opting to go through the single layer of cardstock just because it makes my life easier. So, yeah, when it makes my life easier, I tend to go that route. So I'm just going to keep punching these out, and yeah, it's pretty much all but done. Sorry, I had that mark on there from earlier in the first video when I had marked it to see where not to put the double-sided tape, and it confused me. Alright, so that's that. Now go through and cut your slits into your holes, and then you should be all but done. I mean, if you, like I said, if you wanted to do extra things and decorate it and whatnot, you could definitely do that. I had brought out some stickers that I mentioned in the first video. I'm actually not going to use those because I think between the washi and the decorative paper, it's actually decorated enough for me. So also too, these videos that I make items specifically for my function and my use. So if it offends anyone, I'm truly sorry. And the reason that I say that is because I had a comment on one of my videos where the person was visibly upset that I didn't do it a specific way. So I was a little baffled and confused at first, but I just wanted to make sure that I put it out there that these videos that I make, they are specifically for my purpose. I don't make things that aren't going to be useful for me. I don't make things that aren't going to be functional for me. But the exception to that is when I make certain things like this. Ironically, this is very functional for me. But when I make things like this is a requested video. So obviously I'm going to make it to the standards or the expectations of that person that is requesting the item from me, or requesting the tutorial, or whatever it is that you're requesting. I will try my hardest to make sure that I am up to that standard with that particular request. But if I'm just randomly showing you guys, hey, I thought about this, I'm gonna do it now, then chances are it's because I wanted to make it for myself, and I wanted to record it so you guys could see it too. So I just wanted to point that out there. Anyway, this is done. You can put it in your folder now, and now you have now this planner has a couple of folders, which is actually good because this is my kids' planner, so I can keep track of all of their school stuff. So this is actually perfect that you had requested this. Thank you for that, by the way. So I don't necessarily have to make a notebook specifically for that, even though I think I already did. But now I can have them all, and I have 3 children, so it actually works out perfectly because I have 3 folders now. I have this one, and now I have this one too with the double pocket that is like stuck now. Did I open the... No, I didn't open the wrong side. It kind of scared me because I was just like, wait, did I open the wrong side? So there's this pocket here, and then there's this pocket here. So now that I have yabbered you guys' ears off, this video is complete. If you guys are curious as to how to make this, that is in the description box below, and this as well is also in the description box below. And if you're curious about my cover, which is covered with contact paper, that is also in the description box below. So if you liked this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it, and it does help me out a lot. If you have any comments, suggestions, or requests, make sure that you leave those in the comment box below. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. I do upload videos daily. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, and until next time, bye guys.